Hello, welcome. I have been listening to a few different modes of meditation, and it suddenly occurred to me what meditation seems to be. And the best way I can describe it is to take our consciousness away from our minds, away from that thing that drives so many problems within our lives, away from that thing that creates feelings inside of us that are lies, that are fear-based, that are hatred, that are all of these negative things. Take our consciousness away from that, as our consciousness can only focus on so much at any one point, and focus that consciousness in the heart, on our feelings. When we do that, we allow ourselves to feel these feelings that we've suppressed our whole lives. And when we suppress our feelings, they get pushed into our subconscious. And there they act like a magnet. I heard this recently from a gentleman. I can't remember his name, but he was a really amazing guy. And he said, when we push down our feelings, they get pushed into our subconscious, and there they act like a magnet. And all those fearful feelings, all those negative feelings, they sit in there and they act like a magnet in our material lives, in our material world, and they pull things into our material world that make us feel those feelings. And because we continuously suppress them and we're unaware of them, it just seems to escalate, and our lives seem to be a continuous fearful experience, because we won't allow ourselves to feel that fear, that we won't allow ourselves to reconcile the problems in our lives through experiencing the feelings. When we meditate and we take our consciousness away from our mind and we put it in the heart and we feel those things which we've suppressed our whole lives, they dissolve. And when they dissolve, they stop creating thought patterns and they stop creating material world patterns that cause us to try and feel them over and over again. And then our thoughts and our feelings as well, and our material world just starts to change. And it starts to become more loving, because those fearful feelings pass. And our subconscious world becomes a little bit more manageable. It becomes a little bit more understanding. It becomes a little bit more beautiful. It becomes a little bit more enlightened as we start to feel more. Because we're feeling more, we're thinking less. And because we're thinking less, we stop telling ourselves this story, which inevitably ends up being negative. We stop telling ourselves a story about our life and who we are. And we start to just feel moment by moment what's going on. And we start to get in touch with our intuition. And we start to get in touch with nature. We start to get in touch with other people. We start to be able to feel other people and what's going on. We start to be able to feel that connection that we have between other people. A connection that we have is not in our minds. Our minds do not connect, and that's why there seems to be this separation in human society. But when we start to feel more as human beings, we start to feel the connection, because our connection comes from our hearts. That is how we're all connected. When we start to feel that connection, we start to feel love. And when we start to feel love, that's the truth of what it is to be alive, is love. That's all there is. And when we start to feel that, it starts to come out in every aspect of our lives, in our relationships, in our work, in nature, in other people, in ourselves. And when that happens, this fearful, hate-filled, scary world that we live in and have lived in our whole lives starts to change. It starts to change into something that's loving, that's caring, that's compassionate, that's empowered. And everything inside our world, when that changes, everything changes. And all it takes is a change in here. It doesn't take a change out there. That's not the answer. Out there there's no answer out there for you. The answer for you is inside yourself. And it's just a matter of getting in touch with that. Getting in touch with your own feelings, because that's where it all starts. And that's where it all ends. You know, this material world is just a bridge to a feeling. When we start to feel more, it changes everything. It changes everything. And it's the most beautiful awakening we can have. And it's the most beautiful awakening you will have. Because you can do it. Everyone can do it. And it's a decision right now for you. And this decision is simple. The decision is between a lie, between fear, and between the truth. Love. And you can make that decision in every moment. Because you are beautiful. Thank you for listening.